Oh, are we going at, we weren't going before. Hey everybody, we're going to do another Q&A, number 20. Thank you all for your questions. We have a few from Instagram and a few from Facebook, and we're going to get right to it.
All right, Rick1285. How do I train my significant other to maintain consistency with my dog's obedience training?
Oh, you can send her to me for a board and train.
I thought the rule was you don't do wives or children.
I'll make an exception for
Yeah,
Rick.
you will.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. I'll do my
nice.
first human board and train.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
I think you're going to have a lot of people calling you for this.
Yeah. So yeah, send her to me for a week. No, I mean it is true. You do have to be on the same page for sure. So all joking aside, you do have to be on the same page, which you know that, you know. So, but if that doesn't work, send her to me for a board and train. Next.
Okay. Morgan Eldred says, dog won't stop barking at people who come into the house even with a shock collar.
Okay, so a couple things. First off, I want you to check fit, because if the shock collar is here, there's no muscle here. And so your numbers will be high, but it won't be reaching the dog because there's no muscle here. So make sure it's snug. Like shock collars need to be a lot more snug than sometimes owners realize. So snug up on the side of the neck there on the muscle. Also, don't be afraid to go high because the dog is barking and carrying on because it's aroused. And dogs in an aroused state of mind, you have to have a number that's going to snap them out of it. So make sure that you're going high on your remote to stop it. You can't be underwhelming the dog. If you're underwhelming the dog, then it's not going to work, which, you know, it's not. And then the third thing is not all shock collars, remote collars, e-collars, whatever you want to call them, they're not all created equal. So if you got, you know, a cheap shock collar, it might not be high enough. It might not have enough range for you. So check those three things. And you can always bonk the dog. Bonker is the single best tool to de-escalate arousal. So you can always bonk the dog. All right, next.
We're to the
Facebook.
are
So,
we?
yeah, so now we're back on Facebook.
Okay.
And so it's up to you if you want to do the hyphenated names. You could always just say Jessica. You could throw in Jessica Bruce Miller, that's fine. Or you could say Jessica Miller.
How do I make sure I have all the comments on here? Don't I have to do something, or it's not when there's that?
You're good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. You don't. I know how. Somebody already validated me saying the whole name, so I feel
You
good
have
about
one
it.
person validate?
That's okay. All I need is one person.
Okay.
All I need is one.
Okay.
I don't think I like your attitude.
You work for me, don't you? Right?
I don't know.
People are probably like literally so confused.
I know.
We've been friends for
We're
15
gonna
years.
keep them guessing. You
I know.
weren't supposed to tell them we're gonna keep them guessing.
I mean, people are probably like, oh my gosh, like, did she just hire this girl? And she's just like, they're probably like, man, I want a job with Whitney. I can just go there
whatever I
and
want.
say whatever I want. And,
Okay.
all right. Hit it. Just say whatever you want.
Jessica Miller.
Okay, wow. You felt good about that one. Okay. Let's have
You
it.
already said her full name, so I just thought I'd say it a different way. How to teach 3 dogs to walk together nicely on a leash. Is this is the right Q&A, right? Just want to make sure.
The one that says yesterday. Yep.
Oh, I didn't notice that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
God.
It's the
Your
right one.
attitude.
It's the right one.
3 dogs to walk together nicely on a leash.
Hey, you know what? You need a pack leader shirt. Doesn't she?
Mhm.
Yeah, she needs a pack leader shirt. So what I want you to do is I want you to get them really good on the walk separately. Okay? So make sure all the dogs separately can go on a walk with no pulling, no sniffing, no marking, no nonsense. Once that happens, then I want you to add in the second dog. Once those 2 dogs are good together, then I want you to add in the third dog. So it's a process. It's a little bit of a process. How long of a process? Well, it depends how much you work on it. When I say it's a process, I'm not telling you like 6 months. Just saying, you got to put a little bit of work into it, which you know, that's why you asked the question. You can, and it depends. Everybody does it differently. Even I do it differently in each time that I walk different packs. Sometimes I'll walk all the dogs on my left. Sometimes I'll walk 2 dogs on my left, 1 dog on my right. I switch it up. It just depends on the personalities that I have in the mix there. I always want you to keep your naughtiest one, or the one that gets a little bit more distracted. I always want you to keep that dog closest to you. Okay? But yes, the key is, the magic is getting them all good separate and then slowly add them together. Then when you do, I want you to send me a picture of it or tag me in it, or I want you to send me a video of it. I want to see it. I want to see you leading your pack. Super proud of you, Jessica. Keep up the good work. Next.
Okay. Sabrina Johns.
You didn't even.
Not even gonna attempt it.
You didn't even attempt it.
Not even attempt it. I'm just gonna hope that she knows it's her. I'm just gonna hope.
I'm glad, because I got no clue either, Sabrina.
Okay. We're terrible. We're terrible.
The reason I have you read my questions is because I'm not a good reader.
I'm a good reader. I'm just bad with.
And you're like literally like
names.
all your free time, you're always reading. So I'm like, who would be my best Q&A sidekick?
So that's the only reason you chose me. Oh.
And now
Truth
I'm
is
like
coming
second
out.
guessing.
The truth is coming out. I'm just not good with names, okay? I'm a good reader. When to use the buzz versus beep versus zap on the mini. For example, told Stella down, she didn't move, so do you buzz or zap?
Okay. I think this is the same Sabrina from Instagram. Well, because she had a dog named Stella, the one that tagged us in those Instagram stories.
Oh,
The golden
yeah,
dog.
okay.
I think that's the same person.
Okay, I can't see the picture.
Because I need to know, did you low level train your dog? So if it's the same Sabrina from Instagram, I'm going to assume that you did low level train your dog. And so what you're onto now is you're onto accountability level, and we're always going to use the
I don't know if it's her.
yeah, I don't know. We're always going to use the shock. I don't want you to blast the dog if you haven't done the low level layering. Okay? So tell me in the comments if we've talked before or not. If not, I want you to go to my YouTube channel. I want you to watch my videos on how to layer with the Mini Educator, and do that process for a few weeks first with a clicker, food, and the low level on the remote. But if you've already done that part, and the dog understands what's being asked of them, and you've done the working level part, then you're going to correct the dog on the zap, if that's what you want to call it, or the shock. You're going to correct the dog. We do not use the buzz, and we do not use the, listen, I just want to shake my leg, okay?
We have 10 minutes. It's fine.
I'm on a little bit of a time crunch,
Whole
and
lot of time.
I didn't want them to know I was on a time crunch, because you guys are important to me. But I am on a little bit of a time crunch. So my leg is like,
she's
I'm
literally
I'm like
overreacting
I'm
right now.
tapping my
We
leg.
have time.
Just
Okay.
couldn't just let me tap my
So
leg.
just finish.
Yeah.
We don't use the buzz and we don't use the beeping
We don't use
unless
the
we
vibrate.
have a special needs dog that
Yeah.
needs that.
Yes, we don't use the vibrate or the beeping. But I don't want people blasting their dogs on high. Corrector level for non-compliance of down or come or something, needs to be effective to the dog, but it shouldn't be like an act of God correction by any means. So, just zap her. All right, next.
Okay. Katie, and you can say her last name.
Metchling.
Is that how you say it? Okay.
Yeah, she was a client of mine, and then she moved to Arizona. So
Okay.
I hope you're doing well out there.
She says, how would you handle a male dog marking his territory?
If we're talking about Zeke, I know he has an e-collar. I want you to correct high on the e-collar. Yep, correct high on the e-collar.
Active God high or
Active
like
God high.
Okay.
Yep, yeah. Because,
Okay.
I mean, he's probably marking his territory, like, in disgusting places where you wouldn't want a dog to mark
So
their
can
territory.
you go over again what, like, just really quick, the different levels of correction, like why we call it act of God, like what that why we put things under that qualification?
Well, it's something that...
Because you just, for example, we were telling Sabrina not to do an act of God correction, so I think we should maybe
Clarify that?
clarify that too, just to,
Yeah. So there's 3 levels that we work with as trainers. There's the working level, which is the lowest level the dog can feel the stem. There is the punisher level, which is what we give a dog for non-compliance of a known command. So it's just enough to say, hey dude, I'm serious. Like, pay attention, listen. And then an act of God level is what we would use for incessant barking, counter surfing, getting into the trash, crate nonsense, or in this situation, a male dog marking his territory all over the place, because I know a little bit about Katie's situation because I used to work with her before she moved to Arizona. And I'm going to guess that the dog is marking his territory in places that could, because she moved out there with her brother. So in this case, her brother could say, hey, if your dog doesn't quit marking his territory all over the house, you're going to have to get rid of your dog.
Right.
So an act of God correction is I want it to stop, and I want it to stop now. So it's high. It's very high.
Along with that, our aim is always for your dog to be able to stay with you. That's because a lot of times when people are asking us questions, it's because they're having an issue. And sometimes it's a really bad issue. So we always want you to be able to keep your dog. We want you to be able to live with your dog. We don't want to have issues. So that's why we do these corrections sometimes, because if we can one time make them so uncomfortable they stop that habit or that behavior, then you're good.
Yeah.
You're good. And that's one time versus having to get rid of your dog, rehome it, or euthanize it.
Right. She's exactly right. Because on the Q&A thing, it's like, you know, people are always asking us the how to stop part. How to stop this or how to stop that, because that's what people are struggling with. And that's why we want to help you so much, because we know that you're struggling. And it's so easy to stop these behaviors, and meanwhile the shelters are filling up because dog trainers aren't talking enough about how to stop these things for people.
Right.
And, you know, it's like here, when we're training dogs, we're not just like blasting dogs and bonking dogs all day and correcting dogs. We literally took 2 board and trained dogs today up into the big city.
The big
city. And we sat out at a patio. We had lunch for like an hour. We made different stops. All day, in a 4 to 5 hour span of time that those dogs were off property, 1 correction was made. 1. And it wasn't even a big one. It was like a, hey, settle down type of thing. So, the whole point is people can enjoy their dogs, take their dogs places, and dogs aren't prisoners of their own home, and neither are their owners.
And our aim is not actually to correct the dog. Our aim is just to have the dog look to you for so much guidance that you don't need to correct the dog half the time. That's only there as a backup, basically.
Right.
So,
voice control. Yep. So, did we get them all?
yeah, we did.
You're right.
Told you we had time.
We had plenty of time, and I
told
didn't
you.
need to be shaking my leg the whole time.
I know.
You know how I hate to be late
Calm
to
down.
things.
I know how you hate to be late. She's so punctual. It's amazing. I need to learn from her.
Yeah, it's a really bad. Somebody
That's
needs.
called sarcasm.
Yeah, someone needs to. Every time I show up late somewhere, like you should just bonk me.
That's
Like I should just have.
That is a great
I should have
idea.
all my friends just.
I'm gonna do
bonk
that.
every time. And then when I show up early, if you could just be like
Give me
clicker.
a clicker and then some sort of like
Clicker,
snack
and
or
then a
something.
snack.
Yes, that's perfect. We're
snack.
gonna condition you to be on time.
Yeah.
I think somebody should do that.
Remember
for me.
that episode of The Big Bang Theory?
Yes,
whenever
when-
Sheldon did that to
For
Penny.
the chocolate.
Yes.
Penny. Every time she did something good, yeah. Yep.
Yeah, and then
I
Leonard
know.
was like, he finally caught on, and he was like, "Quit doing that!" And Penny was like, "Quit doing what?"
That was so good. That was one of my favorite episodes.
Yeah, I like that
I
one.
just don't really watch that show.
Actually, I think I'm gonna start watching that from the beginning. Again. Anyway, you guys don't care. You don't care what I'm watching
Okay.
for TV.
So anyway.
All right, I think that wraps it up.
All right, perfect.
See ya.